Kiwanis Club here in Wayne. And first up, we have Roy Klay. Did I get that right, Roy?
You did.
And he's the two-time past president of the Wayne Kiwanis Club. And he's also been twice the lieutenant governor in Division 9 here in this area for the Kiwanis Club. And Roy's going to let us know on a national and state level what's happening with the Kiwanis Club. Now, first of all, Roy, when was the Kiwanis Club established?
Well, the International Kiwanis was organized in 1915. And the interesting thing about the Kiwanis #1 club in Detroit is that that's where International itself started. So we're here in Michigan, we feel that we are #1. And then in Wayne, the Kiwanis Club was formed in 1926, October 1st.
Mm-hmm. Why was the Kiwanis Club formed? Was there a specific reason in mind?
Well, the group of businessmen felt that if they had an opportunity to get together and share ideas, that this would be a good idea. And so it grew from that, and then very quickly changed from sort of an internal interest to reach out and became a service organization.
Mm-hmm. So on the national and state level, how many members do you have?
At national, we have over 300,000 members.
Wow.
About 8,000 state level, with 232 clubs within the state divided up into 22 divisions.
Well, that's quite a few men.
We'd like for it to get to be more, and we're working on that constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm sure that you always have to have little things encouraging other men from the community to come into your organization. You have a lot of recruitment drives?
We have a membership drive every year. We just finished one here in Wayne, and we immediately gained 4 new members. Mm-hmm. And we are constantly working to gain exposure within the community, let men know that we are a service organization, and mm-hmm. we're looking for new members.
On a state and national level, what's the main purpose of the Kiwanis Club?
Service. We build. We are always looking for worthy projects. At the state level, we have the Kiwanis of Michigan Foundation, which the monies from that, approximately $15 per member statewide, monies go into the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, the Mary Free Bed Hospital Burn Center in Grand Rapids, and the Northern Michigan Hospital in Petoskey.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever have a time when Kiwanis clubs from the whole state or nationally get together and meet?
Yes, we have an annual international convention, the last one being in Vienna, Austria. And then our next one will be in Phoenix, followed by the one in Detroit. Mm-hmm. That we'll do a lot of work around here, and everyone will get involved. And every year we also have a district convention, and the last one being in Flint, and next year will be in Gaylord.
Mm-hmm. I found it very interesting to say that you have international Kiwanis clubs, so you do have them throughout the whole world, it sounds like.
Yes, we have them. We have a Kiwanis International of Europe, and also of the Asian countries, mm-hmm. Centered basically around the Philippine Islands.
Do they pretty much run along the same lines as the U.S. Kiwanis clubs?
Very much. They have some minor
mm-hmm.
variances, but basically we have one set of guidelines.
Did it start internationally and then kind of just come to the United States, or did it start here?
No, it started here in Detroit, spread rather quickly to Canada, and for many years it was just in the United States and Canada and the Caribbean. And then in 1961 or 2, it went international into Europe and has grown.
Wow, that's fantastic. Sounds like your members have been working very hard to spread the word.
We hope so.
Now, I know you have a lot of fundraisers throughout the year, and you have different organizations that, of course, your money does go to. You might want to fill us into just exactly where the money is spent that you raise.
Well, we have two kinds of money. One money we call the administrative fund, and that comes from our membership dues and also directly from our members. And that can be used for covering trips to the conventions if the local board so desires. But it covers administrative function. The other fund that we have is service money, money that we get selling peanuts and other things of that sort from the public, and all of that money, after we've paid our expenses, goes back into the community function.
Now, I know you're broken up into different districts, Kiwanis Club-wise, and I know, is this area belongs to the 9th district? Am I correct in
No, the
assuming that?
district is more or less state level, although the Michigan district is the lower peninsula and the eastern half of the upper peninsula. The western half of the upper peninsula belongs to the Wisconsin Upper Michigan district. And then the Michigan district itself is divided up into 22 divisions. And we are presently, just recently, as of October 1st, became Division 8. Previously, we were Division 9 South. Previously to that, we were in, as you said, 9. And so it divides up generally about 9 to 12 clubs per division. And in each division, the highest ranking officer is the lieutenant governor. And then we have a governor over the Michigan district.
I know you've been twice a lieutenant governor.
No, I was once lieutenant governor, twice president.
Okay, I stand corrected on that. What would be the job of the lieutenant governor then?
As lieutenant governor, the main job is visiting each club, helping them out if they're having problems. The lieutenant governors that just took over October 1st have really had a big round of installation of new officers, installation of new members, and getting acquainted with all of the clubs in their division. And then their responsibilities throughout the year is that they have a given minimum number of visits that they have to make to each club, and then they report these visits and the progress of the divisions to the governor, who in turn reports to the international president.
Sounds like you had a pretty big job to handle
Yes, it
there.
is. Yes.
Now, nationally wise, are there any things that you do as a whole? Now, I know locally there are certain charities and things that you give money to, but I'm sure nationally there must be something that all Kiwanis clubs work on together.
We have an international foundation, and the money's for that. The major portion of it goes into the Mayo Clinic research on discovering hearing difficulties with babies, and they've developed it to the point that they can discover a hearing difficulty at the age of 5 hours.
Oh my gosh. And that was kind of indirectly as a result of the funds
Right.
supplied by the Kiwanis Club.
Right.
Well, that's something that you ought
We're
to be
proud of
very
that.
proud of, definitely. How long have you been funding this particular part of research?
I couldn't answer that. In my memory, it goes back, at least 10 years, but I just don't have the information on how far that fund went back.
Is there anything else that as a whole that the Kiwanis Club supports, and any other charity organizations?
Don't believe that there's any other international fund. We each have our own choices depending on the needs of the community, and those change as the needs change.
Exactly. Do you ever find that if one club in the area is having a little bit trouble in one area, that you bind together and help one another out?
There are times, for instance, we've helped with the Junior Olympics program, where we may pick up the purchase and distribution of hot chocolate, or the Special Olympics, not Junior Olympics. where we would take care of that portion of it and help out one of the other service organizations so that they didn't have to take the whole responsibility.
That's very nice. What can you say at this point? We're coming up into January. I'm not sure when your year as a club starts. Does that start
October
as
1st.
Oh, so you're just starting a new year then.
Yes.
What is there anything in the future, state and national or international wise, that you'll be working on?
Well, personally, I have been the district chairman on the conventions for the last 7 years, and am the on-to Phoenix chairman for the international convention this year, and just last Monday night was asked to be the on-to Detroit chairman. And so that is my particular focus for the next 2 years, is working, getting people interested in going to those conventions.
Where do I heard you mention something about Arizona. Is that where you're?
The Phoenix will be the next one.
What happens at conventions? You hear all these stories where these guys get together and they have the women pop out of the cake, and I'm sure that's not really how it goes.
No,
when you get together.
The Kiwanis Organization is very businesslike at the international conventions. We've been known to have as much as 95% of our registered delegates on the floor during business sessions, which we're real proud of.
Wow.
And we discuss various things that have to do with possible changes in rules. One thing that always interests people is whether you're going to raise the dues or not. And the due structure is always interesting. Then, of course, the international president each year determines what the following year's theme is going to be, and discussing that and finding those things out is a part of the international convention also.
So you pretty much set your dues and fees at the national level?
There's an international dues structure and a district dues structure and a local dues structure. In other words, at local level, we know what we have to pay to the state, what we pay nationally, and then we determine how much the traffic will bear, and determine our dues structure to cover those two plus our own administrative costs.
Is there anything else that's going to be coming up in the future? Any kind of events that are going to be sponsored on a national level that you can think of?
I can't think of anything on a national level. We have our money-raising projects that will be coming out to the public as we determine our money needs and how our manpower stacks up to support these. We like to have good projects, but we also like to be able to have a good turnout so that a few persons don't have to do all the work.
Oh yes, that's a definite must. I know that you don't want to, plus you want to get as many people as possible involved in, I'm sure, the activities that you do. You don't want it to all fall on a small group of 1 or 2 or 3 people. Yeah. Well, Roy, I want to thank you very much for being our guest today. And this is Roy Klay, and Roy was filling us in on national and state level about the Kiwanis Club. When we come back from our commercial break, we're going to have a very good friend of yours here with us, the new president of the Kiwanis Club, and that's Vincent Vasely. And Vince is going to talk to us a little bit about on the local level, what's happening here, how you can get involved, some of the members in that too. So I'm sure you're not going to be going anywhere.
I won't. No, I'm quite proud that I've got 20 years perfect attendance.
That's right. We're going to talk about that. That's not very often do you get 20 years of perfect attendance.
That's a meeting every Thursday or once a week for 20 years.
You must have been lucky that when you did get sick, you didn't get sick on Thursdays,
Can't get sick on Thursdays.
Right. Thank you again.